WebDev recently posted a color guesser challenge, and apparently some senior is throwing a ruckus in his comment sections about how unfair that is. So the question I'd like to answer, how difficult is it actually? And WebDev also kind of asked me like how hard I judge it. Now, I've never implemented it, so I'd like to just try it. Obviously, I'm not entering this with a clearly, completely fresh eye, because I've got a rough idea of what it's supposed to do already. So basically, we want just a color displayed, and when there are 3 buttons and one button has the buttons have hex numbers in them, and if we click on the correct one, we're supposed to say, yeah, you guessed the correct one, and then pick a new color and a new answers. And if he clicks on the wrong one, we're supposed to say, well, this is wrong. Yeah, so let's just start that. I have a completely fresh project here. Let me just... Ooh, that's not the name I wanted. Let me just rename this to an SCSS because I'm more used to them. And I may need to restart actually the server. I'd actually managed to deal with it, so never mind. But anyway, so let's clear out all this. Don't need it. Let's close this. Let's add a class name to this, and let's not call it app, but let's call it the... Actually, let's ignore this. Let's add another div, and let's give this a class name of the color. Yeah, let's just call it the color panel. This will be the thing that will display our actual color. If we quickly jump over to this, let's just wipe this thing out. Let's add a class called color panel to this. Like so. Let's give it some fixed size, like let's give it a background so that we can just see it for now. Okay, so we have got a color field we can see. Let's add a button so that we have something to click on. Color. And let's give it an on click for now. Let's leave it empty. But we actually want to inline style this with a color. So let's give this a style of just background. And for now, let's leave it just, let's make it black. Okay. We've got this. I'm zoomed in really far, by the way, because I usually zoom in when I do stuff. I've got a high resolution screen. Right, so challenge 1 is to generate this number. Now I don't know how he generated his number, but hex numbers are just binary numbers. One symbol position here represents 16 bits. So 2 of them are 256. Well, that's the maximum number is 256. So we can just compute our entire color range is simply 256 times to the power of 3 actually, because we have 2 sections of 3s. And we need to subtract 1 because it rolls over, so we need the 1 smaller. So let's just see if we can convert this to a hex. Yeah. Let's call this color. random, math.random, math.random times color range. We want to seal this. And in here we want to interpolate and turn this into a hex number. So let's have color to string, and the radix is 16. And if we reload this page, we get a random color every time we reload. So challenge 1, first part of a challenge completed. Now we don't want one fixed color. We want a few options. So there should be 3 buttons here. And I'm not gonna worry too much about the styling. Like one could center this app thing here. Let's actually do that, I guess. Width 100%, height 100 vertical height, viewport height, and width. And let's just say auto margin. Margin is auto, and that should get us at least to the... No, it doesn't. I thought it would. Oh, but the content is still top left. Yeah, of course. Let's do position absolute. Let's give the body a relative position. Okay. And let's remove width and height and auto margin. And let's just put the top to 50% and the left to 50%. And the body needs the absolute height. It's 100 viewport height, and width is 100 viewport width. And we are centered-ish, not really. We want to offset this now by the size of a lower one. So let's say it's about 6 rem. Let's just assume it's 6 rem. No, it's not gonna be 5. Oh wait, it's half of it. Yeah, so it should be 3-ish about. And let's do the same thing with the left. I'm trying to just estimate the button as like 1 rem or something. And this should be like 2.5. And we're kind of centered. Now, of course, our buttons underneath here aren't centered, but let's just give us a higher width of like, let's just say 3 times as wide. No, too much. 12, 11. 11 seems good. Okay, let's say 11.1. So that makes our width what? That is 11.1 divided by 2. That's 5.55. So, okay, now we're kind of centered. Kinda. I guess we could get ourselves centered by just making our buttons a height of 1 rem. Ooh, okay. 2 rem. 1.5. 1.5 is good. So this is not -3. This is 5 plus 1.5 divided by 2. So that is 2.75, I think. Yeah. Okay, now we're centered. Have 3 buttons and can click on them. It's not the greatest styling job, but whatever. And we want to now determine if we are the correct, which button is the correct color. So we want to display 3 colors here as well. Let's turn this into a function simply. Get random color. Color. Return color to string 16. And let's do the interpolation here already. And let's say this returns a string. I should move that bracket over there. Right, so color is instead this. And then we have let's generate this actually differently. Let's say we have a colors. Let's make a new array of length 3. Let's fill this thing. Let's map it. Okay, actually strings. Let's map it. We don't care about what we map, and we just call get random color on it. Those are the 3 colors. So we can down here turn the colors into a map for the buttons. This is a color. And we turn that color into a button. We'll spit out the color itself here. And let's give this a key of color. We don't need the 3 buttons anymore. Right. Color did not find colors. Color. Right, this doesn't exist. So let's do a const correct color equals colors, and we'll just index into a random one, so math.random times 3, and we'll take the times 2, and we'll take the ceiling of this. Because it's the index. Actually, we'll just floor this. It makes me think we should be flooring up here as well. And actually, why is there -5? This should be -1. And with floor, we don't actually need to... One exclusive. Okay, with floor, we don't need to subtract 1. Right. Okay, so we can use the correct color here instead. Like so. That throws off my entire styling, but let's ignore that. We have the colors. Now we just need to the function to tell if we are correct. So, actually in JavaScript I can just do this. Let's turn this into a state. Because we already know we need to reset this at some point of time, so you use state on this thing. We'll extract this in here into a function in a second. This is also a use state of this. We could even extract this into a hook, but at some point we're over-engineering this challenge. So let's just... on the first pass we are correct here, that then... let's add a function and set reset colors. Let's just call it reset. And in reset, we just call set colors with this array here. Let's extract this into a const first, because the state update doesn't happen immediately. It only happens on the next render. So we can set the new colors. And we can use the set correct color to exactly the same thing we did here, just instead we use new colors. Right, so we have our reset function. Just for fun, let's just call reset in here. And let's deal with my linter. So if I click on any button, it should change the colors, which it does, which is nice. One thing we still have left to do, and that is we need to tell if we are wrong, correct, and inform the user of that. Let's use another state. Guessed correct. Guessed correct equals use state. Guessed false. Do we want to show something if he hasn't guessed yet? Let's make this a boolean or null for he hasn't guessed yet. Null. And let's start with null. Then we can have here a check if guessed correct equals null. We do nothing. Else we want to display the correct guess or not. I don't like doing ternaries, so a nested ternary, so let's do here a function instead. Call it get guess result. Should this be a function? We could just compute it directly. So we can do if guessed correct equals null. Let's do a let guess state display, and it can be a empty fragment in the beginning. That's what we're going to just put in here. And if guess is not equal to null, then we can do another guess check if guess correct. And guess state display can be then turned to you are wrong, colorblind. And I should actually flip this in a second. You are correct. And then we can just say, please guess a color in here. Let's make those divs, and let's make this actually just null. Null is a valid component. Okay, so if we click on something, we don't get a message. That is fine. Instead of just calling reset, we should call a function like called guess or something. It will take in a color. And if that color equals to the correct color, then we'll set guess correct to true. In the else case, we'll set guess correct to false. And we'll also reset in the success case so that we get to the next color. Okay, so I have no idea. And I should call the right function in here. Where is it? What did I guess? I called it guess. And this is guess, and this is the color. Okay, if we're guessing false, it tells me I'm colorblind. I am not that good at reading hex colors, but it tells us here that it is the second position should be low, so this seems like the right one. Okay, seems to work. Now we could style the text a bit better. Let's say we give this a class name. Let's just inline style it, it doesn't matter. Let's give it the color green. Let's give this the color red. Right. Now we could refine the styling a bit more, let's fix that quickly. It's not 11 anymore, but probably like 12.2, 12.1. So half is 6.05. Yeah. That's the entire challenge. I think that's perfectly fair to ask a junior. They may need some help getting the color generated. I mean, there are different patterns of doing this, methods of doing this. But at least this logic down here, I think that's fair game for a junior. Maybe some hand-holding, but I don't see why a senior is complaining about it. I mean, yeah, I just don't see it. Anyway, if you've got questions, leave a comment. If you like, you can join my Discord. It's currently empty, but I'm trying to build it. And otherwise, see you around.